We only have one Earth. And we're growing as a community and as a nation and as a world. And we're past the tipping point.
Moab is a very unique destination. It's the heartland of some of the best outdoor lands on Earth, perhaps.
No matter how busy it is in town, a 10-minute hike in any direction and suddenly you're surrounded by wilderness. And you can hear the birds, you can hear the water running.
When we think about sustainability, we think about recycling, conserving water, and growing our own food. But fundamentally, sustainability is about protecting our Earth. And here in Moab, we have these beautiful national parks and BLM land.
And so it's a clear reminder of how important it is to try to preserve that.
Moab gets visited by millions of people, so we have the opportunity to lead by example and show the visitors really how to bring together a community that is thriving.
Fortunately, we've got a lot of folks who are willing to just roll up their sleeves, get dirty, and work on meaningful issues, and sustainability is definitely one of those.
The bakery has part of a building that was the post office and has a flat roof, which is an amazing place to collect solar from. So the bakery made a decision a number of years ago and installed a 25 kilowatt solar system, which equates to 78 panels. There's enough energy produced during the day to compensate for all of the bakery's electric needs.
Sustainability has always been top of mind in our design work here. Probably the most important thing we've done is use great care in our new construction to build buildings that are very highly energy efficient, buildings that we believe are built to last for a long time. They were built using a considerable quantity of recycled trestle wood. On site, we do have an area that we call the Boneyard, which is really kind of a recycling center for building materials. And we like to think that we're kind to the critters that come and go around here, as well as the people.
KZMU has a 60-panel array, which generates a little over 25,000 kilowatt hours a year, which is just to say that our entire station is almost completely run by solar. We reuse our vinyl to make spin art, so kind of letting the art live on, even though the record might not be playable. Our efforts towards becoming a more sustainable organization are always growing, and it's a constant challenge. And we're coming up with new ideas every day and taking inspiration from other nonprofits in the community as well.
I think what's unique about Monument Waste Services is we're a local-owned company, family-owned and operated, but we have big world experience. The greatest benefits to single-stream recycling is the convenience and the ease of the use for the consumers, our customers, the residents of the city and the county. Just by offering this program, we have seen participation rates triple and quadruple just in the last 4 months. By us diverting as much as we can away from a landfill, create sustainability within the community by recycling. Our outreach is not limited to residential. It's commercial, it's everything. We're just here to recycle. Whatever we can do to make their life easier, that's what we're gonna do.
This facility is a state-of-the-art wastewater reclamation facility. It uses smart technology for its control system. I have 24/7 access to it through remote access, so I'm able to monitor this plant from anywhere in the world with an internet connection and take control of it. In this plant, we incorporated UV disinfection. We have the ability to reuse our processed water throughout the entire plant. So at the old wastewater treatment plant, we were using 2 million gallons per month. We have reduced that amount to 30,000 gallons per month. This plant is running at over 99% efficient, which is incredible. From incoming to outgoing in just over 4 hours. It's an amazing process.
A considerable amount of the energy that's consumed by the local government here in Grand County is generated from wind power as well as solar power. So we've led by example, and that's what we've tried to show to the community.
At 98 Center, we have plant-based plastics. We also have paper straws. We compost whenever possible. We try to use locally sourced ingredients from several different farmers. Cucumbers, basil, chilies, tomatoes, whatever we can get that's really good here in Moab, we're gonna get.
Everything on the menu, I continue to look with new eyes every time we reprint it, and it's like, okay, how can we start to make our circle here to more locally? So we try and use locally sourced fruit, vegetables, proteins, tinctures, products whenever we can.
The Youth Garden Project is a community nonprofit that has youth and community programs that connect people with food from seed to table.
The idea of sustainability would connect in the localness of your food.
We choose to not use pesticides, and if we do, then they're organic. We hand-pick a lot of the insects right off our plants. We compost.
Instead of having a lot of your food and kitchen scraps go to the dump, we take it here and it gets recycled, broken down, and then used back for our nutrient-rich garden soil.
A huge part about what we do here at the Youth Garden Project to encourage sustainability is how we impact the younger generations in thinking about where their food comes from and how they can participate in that and how that is a sustainable practice for our futures.
Easy Bee Farm doesn't use any chemicals whatsoever and very few inputs, so that keeps our expenses down because we do all of our own compost.
Our main customers are community members who buy in. They buy a share at the beginning of the season, and then each week during the growing season, they receive whatever we have available. We try to conserve water as much as possible. We live in the desert. We understand that that's a scarce resource here. We do crop rotation. We plant cover crops to rest the soil, and we pay attention to what our dirt needs, and we don't ask too much out of it.
Community Rebuilds allows people to get their friends and get community members to help them construct houses. It's a straw bale construction, but they're also really reducing water use and energy use. And it's more efficient. It actually has a higher R value or insulation value than most traditional homes. A third of our housing in Moab is trailers that were built before 1988. So they're very inefficient in terms of heating and cooling. So this is a really nice alternative.
Part of sustainability is that we don't negatively impact natural processes like vegetation and wildlife. And here in Moab, we can stay on trails, leave things as we find them, and pack out our waste. And that gives the natural environment an opportunity to thrive.
I believe that if we're going to engage in recreational tourism as a business, that it needs to be sustainable.
We're trying to give back to the community, and supporting people who support local is where it's at.
We were the first in the United States to be a green power community. We led the way, and I'm proud of that. That was quite an accomplishment.
Small places and small governments and small cities can really provide great solutions for the greater good.
I'd say looking at Moab as being an isolated community and a small community is a short statement. We're actually a worldwide community. We're seeing tourists come in from around the world. So we're meeting those challenges of a high flux tourist base head on. And we're meeting those with great accomplishments. So we're not the tiny little community that's been left behind. We're the little community that's going to lead the way.